Hello guys, it's Aiden, and I know this video I wasn't scheduled to do, but Warner Brothers dropped a bomb on us and released a second trailer for Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, which was exclusive for Comic-Con, but until they decided to release it online, which is where I saw it, and it was awesome. I'm stuck. I watch it over and over and over again because it's so good. But I'm not gonna let my narrative feelings impact how I review this trailer and how I break it down, so that I can analyze it as much as I can to tell you guys what this could mean and what these things could foreshadow for the film itself. Now, last year at Comic-Con, they showed another little teaser. I wasn't there, and I didn't see any of the bootlegged versions of it. I just saw like those images that went viral online, where someone's head was blocking half of the screen. It was pretty hilarious that's all those bootleggers could manage. But and also when the first official trailer was released online, I didn't find out until the day after because it was a crazy day. I don't remember what happened, but I just was out of it for the whole day, and I just went to sleep early and woke up the next morning, and bam! So many people were talking about it, and I watched it then. But this time, I was lucky, and I watched it an hour after it was posted. So, let's get into it. So the trailer starts off with, of course, the Warner Brothers and DC Entertainment logos, and then it goes into a close-up shot of Holly Hunter, who, by the way, on IMDb has been listed as only U.S. Senator, which could mean something. It could mean that her character is more important, as she did go to Comic-Con for the movie to support it. But if she is just a U.S. Senator, then why would she be going to promote it? She has a bigger role in the movie, and it's clear, and it's pretty obvious. But she says that today is the day of truth, and that they're going to find out what Superman stands for. And, yeah. Superman walks into court, and that's a pretty epic shot, and calls back to the fourth Christopher Reeve Superman movie, which wasn't the greatest, The Quest for Peace, in which Superman went to the Supreme Court, I believe, and talked about ending nuclear war and put all the nuclear weapons out into space. I think into sun. I think he threw them into the sun. That was definitely very 70s. And then the next shot is Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne during the Battle of Metropolis. Now, in news, it was confirmed that Metropolis and Gotham are neighbors in this universe, which is a big difference from the comics. In the comics, Metropolis is somewhere near Nebraska or Kansas, and Gotham is in New Jersey, which is crazy. That's a big space difference, but to bring them closer, it makes sense for continuity. But I can understand why a decent amount of fans would be disappointed about that. And it's hinted that the Wayne Tech building is destroyed, because as the shot zooms out of Bruce Wayne protecting that little girl, you can see the logo from the building has fallen down. And yeah, it's also hinted that someone close to him was in the building, as there's also a funeral scene later in the trailer, and there's also the Joker wrote on a newspaper clipping and sent it to Bruce Wayne. The newspaper article was on the Wayne Tower being destroyed in the Battle of Metropolis, and said, "You let your family die." Yeah. You let your family die. Hinted to be Joker. It's not confirmed, but it just seems like something that Joker would do to taunt him. Which brings up more things. Does the Joker know Batman's true identity, and is that why he sent that to Bruce Wayne? Or did he send it to Batman because he knew that someone close to Batman was in that building? It's not confirmed, it's just speculation at this point. And then, next starts Batcave training, and Ben Affleck is pulling a tire with a rope, which is an interesting thing. I can totally see Batman from the comics doing that, but it's interesting that they would have there's certain exercise things that they would have. I'm feeling very in-depth with this. I'm sorry if it's being very boring. And then they have the same voiceover from Jeremy Irons from the first trailer of how this is how it starts. The fever, the rage, it's what turns good men cruel. But then for the last line of it, it actually shows Jeremy Irons, and he's wearing a sling, which would assume that he was in the Wayne Tech building when it was collapsed. And also, It goes into Clark Kent telling Lawrence Fishburne's Perry White, which, by the way, I thought that was a great casting decision. It was very random, but great. And he said that he didn't like the bat vigilante and how he's engraving his victims, and shows a shot of a bat symbol engraved into a man. I don't think Batman did that. I think someone else did that to set up Batman to make the two butt heads. Because I don't see comic book Batman doing that, and if that's what they're doing with this, that'd be a tiny but pretty important flaw that I would have with this movie. Yeah, Clark Kent versus the Batman. Clark Kent is not a big fan of the Batman, and vice versa. And it goes into, of course, similar things from Man of Steel, of Lois Lane saying the S stands for hope, and that it's all that some people have. And Diane Lane goes into a whole speech about how people hate what they don't understand. Be the guardian angel, stand for hope, or do none of those things. Because you don't owe this world anything you never did. I'm not really going into depth of what exactly they said. And also, it shows that Clark saves the space shuttle crash. It's just, at least that's what we can assume is happening in this scene. It's not very clear, but I would assume that it's a space shuttle crash, because a space shuttle goes up, it blows up, Superman saves it, and goes down. Pretty cool. And then, next up, Superman and Lex Luthor first meet. Whoa. That's pretty cool. How Lex Luthor's treating him like a specimen, and Superman gives him this look of disgust. That is great. The little details like that I just find awesome. And also it shows Zod in a body bag and it's unzipped, which could lead into the fan theory that Zod's DNA will be used to create Doomsday, which would explain a few things that I'm going to go into later in this into this breakdown. Also, Bruce Wayne goes into the Batcave and sees graffiti on the Robin suit, and it looks a lot like the Tim Drake suit, which would assume that Tim Drake was killed, or maybe it might be Dick Grayson. I know, this is another thing that was leaked online, an image of Ben Affleck in a graveyard, and one of the tombstones said Richard Grayson. That would be a really gutsy decision for DC to make, to kill off Nightwing. But that could be it. But on the Robin suit, it wrote, "Ha ha ha ha, joke's on you, Batman," which basically confirms that it was Joker that probably killed one of these people, or Joker is taunting Batman because of this. And, yeah, that background thing, you probably noticed that the screen turns off after a while because of that. Okay. And then there's a Batfleck quote that I pretty much like. 20 years in Gotham, how many good guys are left? I wanted to... and how many stayed that way? A pretty good quote. Kind of going back to The Dark Knight, where Aaron Eckhart's Harvey Dent said, either Batman lives long enough to die, or either, I don't know, some random quote. I'm not gonna go into depth with that. Batman uses the bat signal. There's a voiceover of Ben Affleck saying, we have to stop him, or we have to kill him, or something like that, along those lines. We have to stop him, end him, something along those lines. I wonder why he was using the bat signal. Maybe he knows that Superman's after him, so he's using the bat signal to show him where he is. And also, it once again shows the Wayne parents' murder, which we've seen done to death so many times. Also, funeral scene, which leads back to the whole Richard Grayson possibly being dead. And then a lot of destruction, the Batwing, Gal Gadot as Diana Prince, and a shot of Ben Affleck that somehow made me think that he was taunting Superman or something, or Clark Kent, because he just had this look on his face, and the way the camera work was done is what I think it was trying to do. It shows Wonder Woman in action, which you can see on the thumbnail when I upload this. That is awesome. That is really cool. And also, Batman versus Superman army. This might not actually be a Batman, because it doesn't really look like Ben Affleck, and I don't know why Ben Affleck would be wearing goggles, a long coat, and those pants, and not even wearing, like, a Batman logo. I have no idea what it could be. And then Alfred asks Bruce, are you really going to go to war with him? He is not our enemy. And then it briefly shows a breakout at LexCorp, which is very interesting, which could lead into possibly Doomsday being created at LexCorp and then breaking out. Also, Lex Luthor looks at a giant glass thing filled with kryptonite. Batman just stomping Superman through a roof. That is one of the coolest shots I've ever seen. He's wearing the armored suit, and it's so cool. And just the 5-year-old inside of me just went, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" And Batman vs Superman action / bat grapple. So there are many things that I could draw out of this. I don't think that Superman would use laser vision on Batman because he knows that it would just turn him to ash instantly. So I'm thinking that might have been Doomsday, and that this might be a huge action scene against Doomsday, because we need to think, who is Wonder Woman fighting? She is in the middle of this fight between Batman and Superman. She wouldn't be fighting anyone here. Unless the big villain of this is Doomsday, which will lead into Justice League, in which Wonder Woman is fighting Doomsday, which would make sense. And, the whole bat grapple thing where Ben Affleck is holding onto a building and then grapples away, that reminded me a lot of the Batman Arkham games, where you grapple all over the place. It's awesome. And I really do think that Superman was using laser vision on Doomsday, and then the laser vision that we saw against Batman was from Doomsday. And then this Jesse Eisenberg line that I don't know. I don't think that this trailer represented him well enough. I have confidence that he'll be a good Lex Luthor, but I don't think that this trailer is really shoving in the face of all people that doubted him that he will be a good Lex Luthor. That line, the red capes are coming. I don't know, some people got it, some people didn't. I'm not going to go into that. And the last shot of the trailer is Superman wrecks Batmobile, and Batman just stands up in the smoke, and that's the end of it. And there's epic title logo music. That is how you do a trailer, my friends. Those of you that are spoiling the whole movie in a trailer, just so you can get people to sit down in the theater and watch it? No, that's not what you do. You interest the audience. You give them things to be excited about, while not spoiling anything. You need to give them a sense of the plot, without giving away too much to the point where you actually seen the movie already. You need to get people excited that weren't already excited. And you can get those people to sit down in the theater and have a good time when they watch it. And have confidence that they will have a good time when they watch it. I just really hate when trailers spoil the whole movie. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Castaway. Castaway's like 20 years old, but that trailer really did spoil the movie. Basically, that's it for this. I'm probably going to do the video of me casting all the characters in the Batman Arkham trilogy for movies. That'll be interesting. That'll be an interesting video to make. But until then, just be sure to check out my most recent videos, and that video where I explained the 201 Days of X-Files. We've got nearly 200 views now. That's pretty crazy. Thank you guys for that. I honestly think that the timing at which I uploaded that video is the reason why I got so many views. So thank all you guys that clicked on that video and enjoyed it. And again, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. What did you think of the Batman v Superman trailer? Comment below. I'd be really interested to know what you guys think. And until the next video, adios, amigos.